Hi everyone, it's SuNN here. Thanks for joining me for another Fabricate Friday video. I just wanted to take a minute here and say if you're new to my videos, welcome. Please subscribe for future inspiration and know that you can get all the particulars of this project at my blog. The link is below in the description bar, as well as the supply list. Feel free to comment, like, and share. And you're going to want to share and make this one of your favorite videos because this is such a cool project. And I haven't actually seen anywhere on the net anything like this before. So this was my inspiration, a stash tea box. And I thought it was going to be really cute for anybody, say if somebody has a cold or is sick, you can bring over a box of tea. It's kind of inexpensive, you know, $5 for, you know, some tea and maybe a mug or something. And it could be a Father's Day gift, a Mother's Day gift, a birthday gift, you name it. So the sentiment I'm using from is a new stamp set that I just got. It's called Tag Talk. And it says for you, and I actually bought this stamp set just for this because I thought it'd be perfect for a lot of the 3D projects that I do. So you'll probably be seeing me use that quite often. Anyway, I better get going on here. So I'm taking out my scoring tool. So what I'm going to need are two pieces of paper today. I'm going to call this A and this B. So on our A piece of cardstock, we're going to need an 11 by 9.5. So basically, you're going to have to take a 12 by 12 and you're going to have to cut it down to this size. So with our long side at the top, we're going to score at 2 3/4, at 7 3/4, and at 10.5. Then we're going to flip it round to the short side, the 9.5-inch side. We're going to score at 1/2, 3 1/4, 6 1/4, and 9. And we're going to flip on to B cardstock, and we're going to score that at 1/2 inch. And that's it for the scoring. So next up is folding and burnishing all those score lines. Okay, so maybe if I zoom out just a little bit, I hope you won't be able to see my mess, but you might be able to see just a tiny bit better. Okay, there we go. So on this piece of cardstock, you're going to see that there is no lip here and that there's a lip here. So that's how we're going to orientate ourselves. This is a little bit of a different build, so bear with me. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to start at this corner and I'm cutting up the score line, and then I'm just going to cut this guy in half. So I'm basically removing, so this is like a little tab. Nothing special there. Then I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to remove the whole square here at the bottom and the 2 rectangles at the bottom. But do not do the same on this side. So give you a warning. This is where that circle is going to go. So we kind of had to cut out this piece in order to get that circle. So I'm going to turn it around so the little lip is on this side, and I'm going to cut up this score line. And I'm going to take off that little triangle or rectangle too. Okay. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, so basically these two pieces are the tabs on the inside of the box. So these parts. So what I'm going to do, in most of my videos I like to be even. So I'm just folding these two pieces so that I have them, and I'm going to cut about 1.5 inches, but I wanted just to make sure, so I'm just going to use a pen and I'm going to mark off so I can see, and I can cut in one fell swoop, and they're all going to be nice and decently even from one side to the next. Do be cautious that you're not cutting anything else except for those little tabs. Okay, so you can see now they're nice and even. So I am going to wedge out on these guys just so that I can, you're able to get that lid. Well, it's not really the lid, but this inside of the box there, this flap in. You probably don't understand what I was saying. That's okay. You'll see when it all comes together. We do try to wedge out. And you don't have to wedge out on this one, but I'm going to do it just to be nice. And one little more wedging on this side as well. But not this side. This side is going to be the lid that we can open. So I'm going to take a corner rounder and I'm going to round those corners just so it folds in there nicely. Okay, so while that's going on, side B's got to come on. So I'm going to attach it to this end. So remember, there's no lip on this side and there's that 1/2 inch lip here. And we're going to stick that 1/2 inch lip right to cardstock B. And there's no easy way of doing this. You kind of just have to wing it. Hopefully you're straight. Okay, so you're going to have something that looks like that. The reason why we had to have the B cardstock is because this reaches 16 inches. So even though it's a smallish box, the reason why we had to do that is because we had to put a little circle in there. Okay. Enough jibber jabbing. What I want to do is put on my designer series paper before I cut. So we're going to need 1 2 3/4 by 2.5, and that is for the lid or the top of the box. That's there. So, and then we're going to need 2 pieces of 4 3/4 by 2.5. So that is the smaller size, and these are going on the sides. Right on. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of front and back, well, I guess these would be the sides, to be honest. 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Sorry, my adhesive wasn't working for me, and I got some little balls. There we go. Okay, so before we do anything else, I know that this is the side that I want to cut on. And I tried using my punch, and I'm having a little bit of an issue with the punch. It doesn't like going through the designer series paper and the cardstock, so I'm going to use my Big Shot. You don't have to. If your punch works fabulously well, awesome. So the reason why I'm just putting down a little clear piece of paper is because look at my plate, it's so scratched up and I don't want to ruin any of this cardstock. So I'm just putting a little piece of paper in there. It's thin copy paper. And how am I going to do this? I think I can do it this way. So whenever you're working on a Big Shot, you need to make sure that whatever you're putting in the Big Shot is going to be 6 inches or less. So even though I have the magnetic plate on here, I don't want anything shifting. All right, so if you excuse me for 1 second, I'll be right back. Here I'm back. And that looks great. The circle framelits, I didn't tell you which size it was. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So this was the 5th one from the inside on my circle framelits. I'll write that down in my blog. All right, so you can see now everything looks good. So now we have to put our adhesive on, which is not working for me today. So I'm going to want to put adhesive on this flap, and you want to get it real close to the edge. And I'm going to want to put adhesive on this flap. And I'm going to want to put adhesive on the B side flap. If you can hear that little jingling, that is one of the kittens that I'm fostering. He's playing. So, all right. So this is where we're going to put the box together. So we're going to bring up those sides and we're going to make a nice crease there. We're going to bring up that side. This is where it takes a second to make sure everything is getting in there correctly. You're just going to want to open that one and tuck that inside. And this is the reason why I didn't wedge those sides in, because it does give a nice crisp edge. I've got some tea to tuck inside. And then the box closes like that. And then it can sit on somebody's stove or what have you, and they can just pull out their tea. Actually, you have to pull out the bottom one. Really cute, right? Okay, so let's do just a quick bit of decorating. I already stamped here. So I stamped in mint macaron, and I'm using my, is it bracket label punch? I will have that information on the website. A little bit of dimensional. Don't need too much, but it's always nice to have a little bit of something there. Whoops. And that is the project for today. Woohoo! So just the different greens you can see. This one is with Mossy Meadow, and this one is with Old Olive. How cute. Okay, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye!